Today we have Dr. Bimal Roy, who's the former director of Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, and he was also ex-chairman or former chairman of National Statistical Commission, Government of India. Thank you so much for your time, Bimal.
Mhm.
So
Good.
we
Also
we
pleased to join here.
we fondly call him Bimalda. So that is how I'm going to address throughout this session as well.
Sure. I also like it.
Okay. So, Bimalda, as I said, the context is on the students choosing the right career, right job, right course, and all of that, right? You've been in the academic space. You're a stalwart in in this space for many decades, right? And you would have seen the whole academic spectrum evolving over the years. So now we are at a very critical juncture of technological change. Of course, technology has
Mhm.
always evolved, but now with AI, Gen AI, agentic AI, all of that coming, what do you think, or where do you see the academic academia moving towards to to keep pace with the technology and the developments?
No, see, academia cannot ignore technology. And also technology cannot ignore academia. I think it's
Right.
both are true. I think what I hear these days that it's technology, taking a ride over the academia, and that's not true. So what the AI would do, finally, what human can do, what human can design, what human can think, or human can even probably think of thinking. So uh, it's not that AI will do something from the heaven and give it to me. So it has to be from our thought space only. I'll tell you one example here. Suppose I teach. I always teach. No. Uh, well, of course, my teaching could be recorded, and from there you could probably have a AI generated talk of mine for the people. But what it would miss is that when I teach, I observe my students very minutely. Okay, and looking at the face of the student, I know whether it is going overboard or it's too easy for them. Are they getting bored? And then I have to improvise immediately. So it's not that I come and just give a lecture as I prepared. So this understanding the student's mood, now this whether the AI could capture that, understand the mood of these students from the faces, and it has to observe each and every student while the lecture is going on. So that is probably the toughest job of a academic teacher, to judge the students who are listening to my talk. Now, such a thing the AI has to admit that. So if AI has to do development, they have to understand how do we behave, how does a good teacher teach, how a topic is actually introduced to the students, which would be most lucrative. What kind of examples would be attract to students? Now, this is what the AI has to have their input. So it starts from academia only. So without academia, AI will be nowhere. So academics have to be nurtured with full care. This is my number one statement. And number two, I will probably give an advice to all the students. This is I heard from our previous Chief Minister of West Bengal. He was a very learned man, Buddhadev Bhattacharya. He was talking to the students one day, and I happened to listen to it. I was so moved. He said to the students that, children, you are not born to fulfill the dreams of your parents. You must dream, and you must influence, or you must force your parents to help you in making your dreams successful. Okay, so you are not fulfilling the dreams of the parents.
Parents.
This is my first lesson. So the students, when they are growing, they must try to understand what they like, what they don't like. Okay, and if they like something, the mentors are needed to kind of see whether their likings are in proper place, or how do they nurture their liking. Mentors are not there to teach them. This is the first thing, not to teach them. The student have to learn by themselves. So if somebody feels that he probably likes physics more than English, the mentor has to help him in saying, how do you actually learn physics better? So the mentor is not going to decide whether physics, you learn physics, which is a better career than English. And if somebody says, okay, I think I like English literature, Shakespeare very much, or even say in Bangla, if they say, I like Rabindranath Tagore, then the mentor has to help him how to grasp those knowledges. Okay? But the knowledge has to be grasped or earned by the student itself. So the first thing is they have to have some independent thought of themselves, what they like, what they don't like, and they have to also pursue their dreams, their thought process. The mentor's role is to help them. Mentors are not really tutors. Mentors would be to help them how do they pursue their likes. Okay, I think I could probably explain what I mean to say.
Yeah, I think
Yes, Mangesh, no,
yeah. It makes as you said, a total sense. Mentors should not be like teachers per se, where they they go about teaching a subject as such, but show them the path, show them the direction, right? That is
yes,
what you
yes.
want to convey, right? Now, there's a general,
Mhm.
pattern these days. I'm sure you would have also noticed or seen that because there is always this AI and all of that related new stuff is in the news on a regular basis, students tend to go towards that direction. For example, choosing, say, a computer science course, right? Every other student wants to do a computer science course just because it is in the news on a regular basis. They're saying there are jobs in AI in future and all of that. So in the process there are other branches like mechanical, civil, electrical, all of these, the traditional branches which are losing out. Students are not taking those. So what is your
Mhm.
message for this kind of a decision making, Bimalda?
No, no, I think the students have to make up their own mind. They should not run against now the all this propaganda you have, or not only for career. So the purpose of education is not only to build a career. The career comes as a byproduct. Uh, you learn what you want to learn, what you like, and this is the utmost discovery of yourself, self-realization, what you actually like. If you like, say the essence of physics, I don't see any reason why one should go and jump and jump to computer science, learn AI and stuff like that. Let him pursue, because the world needs good physicist also, mechanical engineer. If somebody thinks this manufacturing is a very very fascinating this thing, I think the students should think themselves and what actually interests him more. They should think with a clear mind. They come out of the effect of the parents. They come out of the effect of this propaganda, and a lure of a good job at the end of it, and let them try to think what they actually like, what they actually enjoy. Now, if they can do it, then they can do that decision making. I don't think then there's a problem. Now I think there's a more of pressure from the parents, the relatives, from the friends, from the media, from all sources, that your decision gets really very hampered. Now, students, if somebody may suddenly do computer science AI, but it has to be his own decision, and he has to be very, very pragmatic.
What do you think the students should do to be future ready? So when I say future ready, basically
Oh,
job
okay, no, yeah, okay, yes,
job
yeah,
ready,
no, no,
industry ready.
yeah, this is a good question. First, is they have to know what they would like to do in future, and the future readiness will comes from that decision. So it all depends on if somebody wants to be a poet or maybe a actor. Okay, so he should go to Pune Film Institute, right? So he'll prepare himself so that he could get into Pune Film Institute. If he thinks if he wants to do be a AI analyst and AI specialist, then a different way of getting ready. So it all depends on what you see yourself in future in a very unbiased fashion. Okay, and what you feel you are really passionate about. Okay, and then there are methods of getting into. So for example, if you want to become a computer scientist or a mathematician, accordingly the mentor will tell you what all steps you'd follow. So if you really want to be a computer scientist in future, that is the role of the mentor. How would you prepare yourself from little early age so that ultimately you can become a good computer scientist? Or if you want to be a, I would say, film actor, okay, you need a similar mentor who could help you. That well, this is why you prepare yourself so that you can actually maybe go to Pune Film Institute and become a film actor. Okay, so this all depends on what you decide, and the role of mentor depends on what you have decided. And a person cannot be universal mentor. Okay, so you have to have mentors from different category, different background. So this is what if you are thinking of having mentors, you have to go to the right mentor. This is also a tough and a decision that this is a decision that which mentor does a student go to. It all depends on your liking, your futuristic dream, and then accordingly you choose a mentor. And the mentor will tell you how to prepare yourself to achieve your dream.
Right.
And suddenly, a mentor for computers, a mentor for physics, a mentor for, say, being a doctor, these mentors are different. Okay, there could be a general level mentor who could help you in thinking what would be good for you in future. But once you come to that decision, then you need a more specific mentor who can help you in, getting ready for that, achieving that goal. Okay, I would say two level of mentorship.
Right. Right.
Could I make it clear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, for a student who's having a mentor at that age of, say, 16, 17, 18 is definitely an advantageous situation, given at that point of time in their life, they will not have too much of a worldview, too much of knowledge of things. It will definitely help if somebody can guide them, right? And what are their strengths, what is their
Yeah,
weakness.
yeah, yeah. I'm just sorry. You need two levels of mentorship. One is to expose him to what are the kind of thing the world is facing, what would face from that, so that he can choose what he likes for passion. And the second one is a more specific mentorship. Once he decides that this is probably he wants to be like, then a specific mentorship needed how to achieve that goal. First a selection, and then a road to achievement. So you need two levels of mentors.
Right. I'm sure you would have mentored thousands of students, in your career spanning, as I said, decades, right? And I'm sure many of them have come out very successful, in leading position in various companies.
Okay, I'll tell you my most favorite example. You know this gentleman, Mr. Rajesh Nambiar.
Yes.
Okay, who is now the, I think, president of NASCOM. He was chairman of Cognizant. He was a big boss in TCS, and then also in IBM. So
Right.
when he finished his studies at ISI, he was a good student of mine, very close student. He used to interact with me even personal level. So he had a lot of options. Normally, good students go for a PhD, go abroad. They like to go to USA, which as an ISI student he could do easily. And then he was having dilemma what to do, and he had a job at TCS. And remember that time a TCS job was not regarded as one of the very prestigious jobs either. So he had a job with TCS. He had an opportunity to go to abroad. He had an opportunity to go for an MTech program in Kanpur IIT or so. But then I told him, Rajesh, I think the way I know you, the way I've seen you the student years, you are meant to be as successful as in the industry. Your thought process is very different. It's very much an engineering thought process. I wouldn't say science, it's more of engineering thought process. So he took well, of course, his decision, I think he took my suggestion very seriously, and he joined TCS. And people also told, oh, Rajesh, you are joining TCS. It's, yes, I'm joining TCS. And then you see that was his right choice, right? Probably as a, I don't know, he could have been successful as a researcher also, but yeah, he did succeed as an in the industry and on the highest level. So this is one, and others I always mentor. So I have to understand this is the first level of mentorship. Then I had no clue how to rise in the industry. So I told Rajesh, I don't know that. For that, you need a different kind of mentor. All I can see, you being exposed to all these areas of your futuristic views, this may suit you the best because I know you, your likings. You talk to me very seriously, very openly, very frankly. But once you take that path of this futuristic mission, then you need a different mentor. I cannot mentor you how to rise in an industry because I don't have that experience. Okay. But if you are thinking of being a professor, being a researcher, say in computer science, then probably I could mentor you further. Okay. So mentors have their own limitations, of course. And as I say, you need two levels of mentorship.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah. And I'm sure this is just one example. As I said, there could be thousands of other, your
Oh yeah,
students
yeah. There are
who've done
thousands of.
really well in their life and career.
Mhm.
And I just hope that, there'll be a lot more students who come to you seeking your guidance and direction as well in future.
Oh yes, I always have. Now I retired, but I when I was working at ISI, many students would come to my office and seek for my guidance. So because I know their strengths and weaknesses, it's not only the dreams has to be also realistic. So this I've been doing all my life. That's my that's my life.